What's up awesome developers, welcome back to my YouTube channel and I hope you are doing extremely great. Now in this video we are going to build an amazing food app UI. So here on the screen you can see the working demo. So let me show you what we are going to build. So here we have a welcome screen that contains an image, few text and a button component. So if we press on this button component, we are going to navigate to a recipe listing screen where you can see we have the username here on the top and a notification icon, and then we have a search filter. This is a separate component that we are going to build. And then we have a categories component where you can see different categories: breakfast, lunch, dinner, Asian, Italian, etc. And then we have some recipes card. So these are our recipe listing. So we are using flatlist in order to render these, and we are doing a 2-column layout in order to align them in a 2-column fashion. So these are the recipe cards. So each recipe card contain the item image, the title of the recipe, and how much duration it takes, and the ratings. And when you press on one of the recipe card, you will be redirected to a recipe details screen where we have this beautiful UI. Here you can see we have an image on the top, and then we have the recipe name, and we have a small description of that particular recipe. And now over here we have some extra details related to that recipe, which contains the cooking time and the difficulty level and how much calories a particular recipe has. Now below this we have ingredients which are needed in order to make a particular recipe, and then we have the steps that must be followed in order to make the recipe. Okay, so by the end of this tutorial you will be able to build any UI that you see. Okay, so because we are going to utilize the most of the things and components that are needed to build a UI. So let's say for example we are going to use flat list in order to achieve this 2-column layout, and then we are going to use the scroll view as well, and you are also going to learn how to build custom components. Okay, so if this excites you, hit the like button right now and do consider subscribing this channel. So now let's start working on it. So hey guys, this is the project folder that I have already set up, and I have done the bare minimum setup, which is I have added some images and I have created few folders. So do not worry about all this. I will attach a link in the description. That would be the link to my GitHub repository where you can find all the images. So these are the images of the recipes, and you don't have to worry even about a single image. You will find each and every image on the GitHub repository. Okay. And other than this I have added a src folder. In this I have created a components folder which is currently empty. We'll create a few components, and other than that I have created a navigation folder. Here I have created a app navigator file. So this contains the basic navigation setup. I am using the stack navigator which is provided to us by React Navigation. And also do not worry about this code. Also, if you do not know about this, then just simply copy paste whatever I have in this file. And if you want me to create a separate video explaining all this navigation stack, what is navigation container, what is stack navigation, etc., so you can definitely comment on this video and I will make a separate video explaining all this, and you will be able to easily get it what all these are. So if you are new to React Native, otherwise if you are familiar with all this, then definitely you can do your own setup. I have just added a stack navigator and I have added a single screen which is welcome screen. We will definitely add 2 more screens later in this video. As of now we just have this single screen. Then inside this screen folder I have created a welcome screen, and the content of this screen is being rendered over here because I have added this app navigator. I have added this welcome screen inside this app navigator, and this app navigator is being rendered over here. So this is the project setup, and now let us start working on the welcome screen. So this is the UI. We have an image, we have this title 30k premium recipes, and then we have another title, and then we have a button. So yeah, let's get into work and start coding this. So I don't need this text, so let me remove it, and I will add a source prop to it, and it is coming from the assets folder, so I'm going to use the require method. And let me add a style to it, x1. And also, yeah, let me start my server. I forgot to start my server, so it's npx expo start. I want to run it for iOS. Yeah, so we have our image, right? We can align it to the center. Yeah, so we have it in the center. So now we want the text below it, so text. We have our text, and let us style it. Now we are going to add the add button. So for that, I'm going to create searchable opacity from React Native. So, and I want some more padding margin from the bottom, so maybe 40. Yeah, this seems fine now. So yeah, we have successfully added our welcome screen. We have successfully created the elements of the welcome screen. Now let us attach a on press to this. So it would go back to a screen. So instead of this, let me first create that screen. We are going to yeah, we need to register the screen as well in the app navigator. Let's come back to the welcome screen again. Let's restructure our navigation prop, which we get from React Navigation. On this prop, we can attach a method, navigation dot navigate, and add the screen name over here, this one. And now let us check if we are successfully able to navigate from this welcome screen to the recipe list screen. There we go. We have our recipe list screen being rendered over here, though we will fix this in a while, but this is just to show you that we have successfully navigated from one screen to another screen. Now let us start working on this recipe list screen. Now what we are going to do in this screen is that we are going to add some new components to our project, and then we will keep adding all those components in this file recipe list screen as per our need. So the first component that we are going to build is a custom header that will be shown in the top of the screen, which would contain the name and a notification bell. So let us create a new file for that in the components folder. We call it header.js, and I have already added a Expo vector icons library that would be helpful to render icons. So you can definitely go ahead, Google it out, Expo vector icons, and then come back again, restart your server, and I will teach you how to add icons using that library. Okay, so now let us start working on this header file. So here what we are going to do is we are going to accept two props, which is header text and header icon. So these two things will be coming from the screen. So instead of this header, I will write header text, and for the icon, as I said, I have already imported a library Expo vector icons. So I'm gonna add import font awesome from Expo vector icons. I'm going to use it like this icon. This would be header icon, size of 24. This would be the color. Let me increase the font size as well so that you can see it properly. Now let us import it over here. Header text, hi, and whatever the username is. So here you can see we have our name, but it is being obstructed by the notch. So we are going to wrap this inside a safe area view by React Native. Let's give it a style of flex1, and other than that, what we have is icon header icon. So the name would be bell o. Currently we are not seeing the header, so icon. So let's fix this. Here what I'm gonna do is flex direction to be row, and it is not icon, it is name. Yeah, now we are seeing our icon, right? And we want it to get to the extreme end. So what we can do is can add flex1 to it. And now it is on the extreme end, and also we want some margin to this entire screen. So we can simply give this to this view, margin horizontal to be of 16 pixels. Yeah, now we have some spacing. And other than that, what we can do over here is we can increase the font size 22. Yes, it seems fine to me. So our custom header component has been made, and it has been used over here. Okay, now we are going to create a custom search input, search filter, so that we can show it below this custom header over here. So for that we are going to create a new file, and we are going to call it search filter. It will accept two props. The first one is icon, the second one is a placeholder. Now on this view we are going to add some styling. First let me add this over here below the header, search filter, and let me give it some props. Icon would be search from font awesome, and the placeholder text would be enter your favorite recipe. It can be whatever you want it to be. So now let's start working on this search filter. Next thing which we need to do is we are going to add the icon. So for that I'm going to use font awesome again. Let me first import it, right? Oh yeah, we need the placeholder text. So for that I'm going to use this placeholder. We have our placeholder, and above this we are going to add the font awesome icon. So the name would be coming from the screen, it would be icon. Size, let us give it 20. Color, again I will take it from the header, this one. Yeah, so we have our icon as well as the text. And yeah, this needs to be text input and not the, yeah, now it is behaving like a text input, right? Let me give it a grayish color. Yes, this color seems fine to me. So here we have completed our text input as well. So now we'll be working on another component, which is the categories filter. So let me show you the UI first. So this is the filter that I'm talking about, categories filter. Here we'll be showing different categories: breakfast, lunch, Asian, and many more. So let us start working on this component now. So for that I have added a constant file, and I have added a list of categories in this. Let me show you it. So here we have a list of categories which contains an array of objects, and each category item contains two things. One is the ID, another one is the category name. So we have breakfast, lunch, dinner, Asian, Italian, desserts, vegetarian, and seafood. And also I have modified the constant file and I have added the colors. So instead of writing these colors every time, what we are going to do now is I'm going to use these variables in order to add colors to our components and whatever utilities we have. So yeah, this was your constant file, and now let us start working on the categories filter. So for that, let me come back to my recipe list screen, because we are going to add the categories filter over here. And over here what we are going to do is we are going to first create a scroll view inside this view. So and now we are going to loop over the categories array, so let me import it from the constant. And for each category we are going to return a view. We are going to access the category, which is also known as category. So the id and the category title are now stored in this category, and here we are accessing it. And on this view, what I want is, the first thing I would add is a background color. We are now able to see the shadows as well, but now we need to change the background color, right? Because we want the first item to have a white background and a different color other than that. Okay, so for that we're going to use this index. So if index is 0, I want to have it a background color of primary, otherwise we are going to have a light color. Yes, this seems fine. And now we are going to change the text of this first item as well. So for that, here I'm gonna add some styling. If index is 0, then I want a so let's keep it this way. Only if index is 0, then only I want the color to be. Okay, I need to add the styling. Yeah, so we have a white color now, right? And also we need to increase the font size as well. So for that, what I'm gonna do is 18 seems fine to me. Also we can decrease the padding size because it seems too much. Yeah, now it's fine, 10 is fine, right? And now let us try scrolling it. Yeah, we are getting a perfect smooth scrolling. Only one thing left is we do not want to show the indicator, so we are going to set it to false. Yeah, perfect. Now we are scrolling it without the horizontal scroll indicator, so this seems perfect to me. Other than that, we can add some more margins to this view. Yeah, so now we have some spacing between this categories text and this input. Alright guys, now we'll start working on our recipes card. So let me again show you the UI again. So here we have, and these are the recipe cards that I'm talking about. So we are going to build them, and we are going to build them better than what you are seeing on the UI. So I just wanted to show you how they look. Okay, so now let us start working on it. But before that, I want to show you array again. So this is the recipe list array, which again contains many objects. These are 8 recipes basically. So each recipe contains an ID, name, image, rating for the recipe, ingredients that are required to make the recipe, time, difficulty level, and calories. So each of these objects contains this data. So I wanted to make you familiar with this data, though you will get it in the GitHub repo that I will be attaching in the description of the video below. So do not worry about all this data. Now let us start working on our recipes card. So for that, again, I'm gonna come to recipe list screen, and similar to this categories filter, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first copy this and paste it over here, and let me call it recipe list filter. And we are going to just change the text. We don't need this categories filter over here. It would be a recipes list component that we are going to build in a while, and this would be recipes, or you can call them popular recipes. Okay, yeah. So now we have the recipes being rendered over here. Now let us quickly make the recipes component. Here I'm going to use flatlist in order to render the recipes data. So let me import it from React Native. And for the data prop, what we're going to do is we are going to get our data from the constant file that I just show you. So it is recipe list. So here it is imported from the constant file, and now we need a render item. Now inside this view, we first need some. Now to this view I'm gonna add some stylings. The first one is background color. It would be coming from the colors. Color line. First let me add some data so that you can see what is being rendered on the screen. So I have access to item, so I'm gonna call it item dot recipe name, and let me import the component over here, recipe card. So we have our recipes being rendered. Now let us start working on this. So the first thing, we have added a background color, and now I'm gonna add some shadows as well. So I'm gonna take it from the categories component itself. So these are the shadows that we had. Now we are going to add some border radius. We are going to align the items to the center. Okay, and let me add some image as well so that you can have a better understanding of what's going on. So the source would be item dot image. Okay, we have not imported it, so now we have our images. So let us add some styling to the image as well. So I'm gonna give it a width 150, height would be 150, and resize mode center, and we have a height of 150. Okay, now let us come back to our card. Let us give it a padding horizontal of 8 and padding vertical of 26. Yes, and now we need to basically add two column layout, right? So for that, what we can do is on this flat list we can add a prop of columns to be true. It is showing an error, don't worry, just refresh the app, and there we go, we have a two column layout. But yeah, it is not currently it is a bit messy, so let us fix that as well. So for that, what I'm gonna do is column wrapper style to be justify content space between. Yeah, we have a perfect spacing between them, and we have margin on both of the sides, and we just need to remove this vertical scroll. So show vertical scroll indicator false. Perfect. So we have rendered the basic card UI. Now let us work on some additional data that I want to render. So for that, let us come back again to this, and below this item dot name, I'm gonna make a view, basically to render this view would be to render the ratings of the recipe and time taken. So for that, I'm gonna use this text item dot time. Let us see if this is showing. Yes, 40 minutes. Okay, perfect. And other than that, I'm gonna make another view, rating, and I'm gonna add a flex direction of row. Also, I want to add another view so that there is a separator between them. Again, not view, it would be text. And I want to add a pipe between them. Yes, and over here I want to add a font awesome icon as well. So font awesome. Yeah, we have a star with this prime color primary, and now we need to basically align them to in a row as well. And we need some spacing between them. So to this, I'm gonna add some padding, maybe margin left 4. Okay, not here, this margin right. Yeah, so we have some spacing between these cards, and also we need some spacing between the recipe title and this. So for that, what we are going to do is, I guess 8 would be fine. Yeah, 8 is fine. So yeah, so here we have successfully rendered our recipes card. So let us just have a quick recap of what we did. We basically made a recipes card using the data coming from this constant file. Okay, and what we did is we used flatlist to render the data, and we added these styles to this background, to this view that is containing the image and text. Okay, so this text is for the recipe name, and this view is for the time and the ratings. Okay, so we added a num columns prop in order to make the UI, in order to render two columns, and then we have this space between, and then we have shows vertical scroll indicator to false. Now let us scroll it. Okay, now you see we have an issue, right? Here we cannot scroll till the end. So for that, what we can do is to this parent container we can add a flex1. Now let us see if our issue has been fixed. So let me refresh it again. Okay, not this one. So make sure you do not add it over here. Now let us see if our issue has been fixed. Yeah, we got a perfect smooth scrolling. And this looks pretty good, right? The images and the text and everything looks perfectly fine. So yeah, now let us start working on another screen, which is the details screen. And before that, I want to make another change to this, because this we are going to press this card, right? And on the press of this card we are going to navigate to another screen, which is called the recipe details screen. So let us make it pressable instead of view. Okay, and now let me import it as well. Wait. And on this pressable I want to attach an on press probe, and let us see if things are working. Yeah, we are getting an alert. So now what we want to do is we want to create another screen, which is recipe details screen. Let me click on tuna. Yeah, we got it. Recipe details screen, though we'll fix it. The content is getting on the extreme top. We are going to fix this. No, do not worry. So yeah, we are successfully navigated. So now let us start working on this recipe details screen. So now let us start working on this screen. So for that I'm going to give this view a background color. And now we are going to make a header on this, on the top of this screen, which will contain two icons. So the left icon would be to go back to the previous screen, and the right icon would be a static icon that would basically be the favorites icon. Okay, whatever favorite recipe you have. So for that, let us import the safe area view. And inside this we'll be having two icons, right? So let me add font awesome. So the name would be and similarly we are going to make another icon. Now we need to align them in a direction, in a row, and now we need to basically add some space between them. So what I can do is I can give a flex one to this icon. Yeah, we have a perfect spacing between them, and now we need to add some margin so that the icon do not stick to the extreme ends. So for that what we can do is okay. And now if you want to change the color you can. So instead of red, let us give them black. Black seems better. Yeah, and now let us add some navigation so that we can go back when we click on this. Yeah, and before this what we need to do is, yeah, we need to make it pressable, right? Because this has to be pressed. So pressable, and we are going to wrap this inside this pressable, and we are going to add this style to this pressable. Okay, and pressable, let me import it. Okay, and now what we need to do is we need to import navigation, because this screen is registered in our stack navigator, so we have access to this navigation. And now on the press of this back button we are going to navigate to back. Now let us see if this is working. Yes, we are successfully navigating back. Yeah, so now you are seeing on that, on no matter on whatever item I'm clicking, whatever recipe card I'm clicking, we are getting this single image, right? On whatever recipe card. But ideally what should happen is, when you click on this recipe, this particular image should be shown, and if you click on this chicken, then chicken should be shown over here. So now let us fix this. So for that, React Native provides us a way to pass data between screens when you are navigating to different screens. So we can pass some data from one screen to another screen. So now let us implement that thing so that we can see different images. So that we can see images based on the ID that we have selected. So let's work on this. So for that, let me come back to recipe list screen, and not recipe list, we need to go to recipe card, right? And we are navigating over here, right? So over here we can send some data. So we need the whole item, right? So let me pass item like this, and now this particular item, this will be passed to this screen which we are navigating to. So now come back to recipe navigation details screen, and here params, not params, it's route and const. Now let us see if we are getting any item or not. So let me open my console over here. Yeah, see, we are getting the complete item object which contains all this data, and now we can use this data in order to render the image. Okay, render two different images as per the whatever the user has selected over here. So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to remove this one, and we are going to simply add item dot image. Now let us see if this is working. There we go. So now when I click on tuna, we get to see the tuna image. When I click on hot dog, we get to see the hot dog image. For cupcakes, I see cupcake. For curry, I see curry. So this is perfect. So this is how you utilize the data when you need to pass from one screen to different screen. And now we'll continue working on this card. So we will get more recipe details such as the recipe name, how much time it takes to cook, and what is the difficulty level, etc. So we have everything stored inside this constant file. So I have added few more data such as the color, description, steps, etc. Okay, so we are going to render all this including ingredients and also everything over here. We are going to render this over here. Okay, so now let us start working on this. And before this, let me change the color of this icon because white is looking more uh, white is giving more contrast to it. So yeah, now let us check. See, white is better. And now what we are going to do is first we are going to render a different background color for each of the recipes. So for that we have a color property over here. So we are going to dynamically add this background color. We are going to take it from the item dot color, and now there you go. This looks more perfect, right? So now each recipe has its own background color. Okay, yeah, and now let us keep on working. So now I want the recipe name, so for that I am going to come over here. So this is the view for recipe image. And now we are going to work on recipe extra details that contains the recipe timing, what difficulty level a particular recipe has, and how many calories it has. Okay, so now let us start working on this. But before that, I do not want to work with this curry screen because my favorite is hot dog. So I will be opening this one. And sorry for the extra noise that is coming from the barking of the dog. Uh, wow, what a coincidence. So now let us start working on this hot dog screen. So for that, what I'm going to do is, let me add a comment for better separation. And here we are going to take a view, and to this view what I'm going to do is, flex direction would be row. because the content, the boxes that you are going to make, they would be basically aligned in a row direction. So that's why I have given this row direction. Now let us first start building those views. So here we are going to render three views, but I'm going to make the first one. So for this, let me add some styles to it. As of now, I'm gonna add a background color of orange. We'll change the color, background color, in a while. And here what I need is, first I need a text, so this will contain the emoji. Okay, so for this I'm using this clock emoji, and below this I'm going to add data from the item dot it's cooking time, I guess. Let me check it. It's time. Okay, yeah, so we have our emoji and we have the time. Now let us start style this view. And also I would give it a background color of yellow, which we will remove in a while. Okay, so yeah, because we have not given any height and width. Okay, let us, so now let me style this text. No, 28 is too small, so let us give a 40. Yeah, 40 seems fine. And also to this text we are going to give some styles. So font size, let's say 20. Yeah, 20 seems decent. And now we are going to style this view again. So I want padding, maybe 16. And yeah, 8 seems fine. And let us increase the padding to 26, and padding vertical 26 as well. Yeah, and now we are going to align them to the center. Yeah, now this clock is in center. And other than that, what we can do is maybe we can add some font weight to it. Yeah, it's too much, so let's do 400. Yeah, 400 seems fine. And so our one view is ready. So now we need to just copy this one. Okay, we have another view, and again we're going to add one more. And now inside this, what I want is the difficulty level. So for this I'm going to use this emoji, which is a bowl, and item dot it would be difficulty. Yeah, we have the difficulty medium. Okay, this is the first view, I guess. Okay, so here I wanted the timing, so let me revert it. Yeah, and we want the difficulty in this one, so let me add it over here. And over here we want calories. Perfect. And now just we want some space between them, so to the top view, which is this one, we are going to add a justify content of space between. And a width of 100%. We have given a width of 100%, justify content space between. Yeah, so the obvious reason can be that these three containers are occupying the complete width, and so there would be no space to get a space between. So for that, let us give this view a background color maybe of, let's say, green. Yeah, see, we do not have a space. So for that, what we can do is, let us just decrement the padding horizontal. Let us do it for every view. 16, 16. This seems fine. Now let us remove this and see. Yeah, this looks perfect to me. So we have these recipe extra details being rendered. Now we just need to change the background color. Okay, we are not going to use this background color. This was just for the testing purpose. So let me just simply copy paste the background color over here, and I will get back to you. Yeah, so I have successfully added all the respective background colors. So this one is for the time, this one is for the difficulty level over here, and this one is for the calories. And now you can see we have different colors, and this looks amazing to me. So we have completely we not completely we have added an image, we have added recipe name, the recipe description, and extra details for the recipe. Now let us start working on the ingredients part that you show in the demo. So we are going to have a ingredients text over here, and below this we are going to render ingredients list. So let us do that as well. So our ingredient list have been successfully rendered. Now let us start working on steps part, where we are going to render the steps below it. I'm going to simply copy paste this view because they are going to look similar. So let me add a comment, the recipe steps, and we just need to loop over steps, and each step would be called a step over here. Okay, it is throwing some error. It should be step. Yeah, so our steps are being rendered, but they are not currently visible. So for that, what we can do is we can add a scroll to it. Okay, So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to add scroll to item below this title. So let us come to the title. This is our recipe title, so whatever comes below it, we are going to wrap that inside a scroll view. Yeah, till here. Now let us see. Yeah, now you can see we have a scrolling effect, but the UI is getting a little messy. So for that, what we can do is, where is our scroll view? Over here. We are going to wrap this scroll view inside a flex, inside a view like this. And now to this view, we are going to add a flex of 1. Now let us see if things are fine. Yeah, we can see. Yeah, see, now our UI is perfectly fine. It is not messy at all, but we need to get rid of this vertical indicator. So let me add that. False. Yeah. And other than that, what I want is, I don't want these red dots to be here. I just want steps. So for that, I want steps written as 1 2 3 4. So let us do that as well. So we need to remove these dot indicators. So for that, let me come to steps again, and let us just remove this view from here. Also, we do not need the parent view as well. We just need the text. And now over here, we are going to add some JavaScript code. So over here, okay, and we are going to add, so we can take the index. Okay, it would be index plus 1, because indexing starts from 0, so it would be index plus 1, and we do not have access to index, so let us grab it from here. Now let us see. Yeah, we have 1 2 3 4 rendered. Let us just style it a little bit. Yeah, now it seems fine. So there you go. Also, we need to add some spacing between these ingredients text. So for that, what we can do is, yeah, 6 seems fine to me. Now, yeah, we have our recipe name, we have our recipe description, extra details, we have our ingredients, we have, okay, we need to change this text as well. So here we are going to add steps. Now let us check it out for other recipes. Yeah, we have our steps, we have our ingredients, we have extra details. Let us check it out for one more, maybe curry. Okay, so this is giving us some issue. Let us fix this. Here I do not want it to look like this, because we want some fixed width, right? So for that, what we can do is, let us give fixed width to each of these. And let us add this width to each of the container. And simply remove this padding horizontal, because now we are going to work with fixed width. And also this is not needed. Yeah, so now again, let us have a look at the UI again. So this is now fixed. Other than that, what we can do is, yeah, so yeah, this looks perfect, this looks perfect, this looks perfect, this as well. Yeah, so all our recipe cards, recipe details is looking perfectly fine. Everything has been fixed. So now let us have a quick look of what we have built so far in this recipe detail screen. So first we added an image, then title, then description, then these extra details, then ingredients, then these steps, and on the top of that we added a scroll view in order to give the user a smooth scrolling experience, right? So yeah, this was in this screen, and now we can go back, and now let us see the demo of the whole app once again. Here you can see we have a splash screen where we have a beautiful image, this text, and we have a let's go button, and here we have a username, and here we have a notification bell. Then we have a search bar that we made a custom search filter. Here we are rendering the categories. This is inside a scroll view, and here is the list of recipes, right? So this is being rendered by flatlist. Now when we click on any single recipe, we get to uh, navigate on a single recipe details screen. So here we are getting a warning, right? So let us fix this. So let me add a key over here. You can add id as well, but just for the purpose of adding a key, I'm adding index. Though it is not a right practice, you should add id, but let us just work with this. And this is for the ingredients. Now let me add this over here as well. So inside this text I'm going to add a key. Yeah, now again check it out. Yeah, so here we are on this one. We have the name, we have the description, we have extra details, which is the cooking time, difficulty level, and the calories. Then we have the ingredients, then we have the steps. So here the UI of this food recipe app has been completed. If you like this video, if you think you learned a lot in this video, then do smash the like button and do consider subscribing this channel.